Uh, okay. Now, I hope you guys can hear me. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I can't hear me. Let me know. Thumbs up. I don't know. I can't hear. Y'all can't hear me. Eric Gomez is in the building. Let me know if you can hear me. No. Testing, testing. Yes. Testing, testing. It's showing me that it's working, but I don't hear anything. So no. Sorry for the delay. Oh, I heard something. Sorry for the delay. Hello? Oh, I'm gonna get it together, y'all. I'm gonna get it together. First, let's go ahead and turn to. Welcome. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. I gotta turn it down a little. I'm not acting brand new. Y'all done bought some new equipment, trying to make sure everything come off clear and precise to you guys. Y'all don't want to even know how much I spent on this mic. As y'all see, I got the beats, but I got the old school kind. You plug it up. The music, I was over here jamming. But at first, when I came on, I couldn't even hear myself. So I don't even know if y'all heard me. If y'all heard me, good. It's just sometimes when I get this new equipment, it takes me a minute to load up. I even got a different color sign in the back, but not today. I couldn't figure out how to get the whole sign in, but y'all know it just takes me a minute. Anywho, first thing we do on the show, 10 waters. As usual, this the 10th bottle. I can't get past this. As y'all know here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, advocate for water drinking. 2 times that you must drink water, and I mean absolutely must, is first thing in the morning and right before you close your eyes, not laying in the bed looking at TV, but before you close your eyes to watch TV, because a lot of stuff going on in your sleep. You burn the most calories. Well, just a lot of good stuff going on, rebooting, recharging the system, all that stuff, rejuvenating. You need that lube. It's that lube that you need. And first thing in the morning, you get up to start the engine. If you think of your body as an engine, you need to get up and start that engine first thing in the morning. So you need that lube. But we here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate 100 ounces a day. And usually I make it to about 96, but at this time every day, I'm always at 100. So when you chime in, tell me how much water you drink. Eric Gomez is in the building. What's popping, King? Um, so if y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up, say something. Like we hear you loud and clear, because I can hear me really well, but right there at the beginning, I couldn't hear anything. So, we over here upgrading and everything. Hopefully the mic doesn't go in and out. If it does, y'all let me know. Sometimes I can hear that. With this mic, I better not have that problem, because I really went and dropped a dime on this thing. Actually went to the music store, and I really did my research and got me um a decent mic. Uh, it wasn't cheap. I'm gonna tell you that. It wasn't cheap. We- I don't even want to tell you how much money I've been spending on this equipment and everything. And it's just a few equipment that you need. But my uncle told me, like, when I started the show, and he was asking me what was I using, what mixer, what mic. I was telling him, he said, you're better off just spending correct amount of money or putting money into your equipment, because if you get something cheesy, might get cheesy results. And sure enough, the first one I got is the most practical. If you were looking for a startup and you just got humble beginnings, the Mano caster is the best one. However, if you get a dud, but the Mano caster is user friendly, does everything you want it to do. But if you get a dud, then I got one. I saw another one, because it ain't that many to choose from, as far as what you're trying to do as far as streaming. So then I got another one. I said, oh, this is prettier. Got more buttons, got more special effects. And that was called a 10 lamp. Um, but I think it caters more to the Asian market, because I think it came from China. It come from somewhere. How you can tell where your devices come from, do a YouTube a how-to video, like how to use the 10 lamp, how to use the Manocaster. If the person doing a YouTube how-to is Asian, and they may even be speaking English, but it's hard to understand. But every time you looking down the list for the different how-tos, it's either in another language or Asian. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be more compatible with their devices and their setup. It just will be. And then there's something gonna be missed in translation when you bring it over here to the States and hook up to your setup. It's not that it can't work, but for me, I couldn't find an adjustment button to increase volume. I couldn't lower volume, but the mic was clear as hell. Everybody liked the mic. Now my main note, it was my volume. So you think it's the mic, but it wasn't the mic. It was actually the mixer, because I wound up switching the mic from the 10 lamp, which was the Asian one I had, to the Mano, which was the American made one I had, and still the same problem. That's how I knew that the Mano itself was kind of defective. But this time I got me a Go XLR Pro. That costs a pretty penny. Look that up. And I specifically wanted something that catered to Americans. And so when the first thing I did was look up the how to. I'm just giving you guys a clue because I know a lot of people like my background. You might like a different picture or whatever, but you like how it pops. And I'm just telling you tricks of the trade. Nobody told me it was trial and error. So as I'm doing the YouTube, I'm learning a lot of things trial and error. I'm not getting unless I want to go to a how-to video. There's nobody really sitting on the side said do this or do that. And so I'm learning all this stuff by OJT, meaning on the job training. So I got real professional lights. I got a real green screen, and I have an expensive mixer and an expensive mic. And that should do the trick. If this mic doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. It's like I said, I dropped dime. But welcome, welcome, welcome. And we did the water check. And so today is gonna be kind of weird. Let me put on the music. I'm gonna talk about something that I really don't like to talk about. Turn it down. And hopefully you guys can hear me even with this background music playing. Turn it down maybe a little bit more. So I don't usually like to talk about stuff like this, but we have to because it happens. Real life, it happens in all walks of life. I'm not trying to be negative, so I want to look as serious, not a laughing matter for me. Shouldn't be a laughing matter for anybody else. But y'all remember Casimero, right? Casimero, who fights on the Pacquiao's team. The one that looked like he be fishy a little bit too. He looked like he be on that tee. Um, his last fight was with Rigondeaux last year, August 14th. And he engages in the typical stuff that they like to say about black fighters as a legitimate reason why they want to exclude black fighters or they want to avoid black fighters they know they can't beat. You're going to say they're boring. They're not exciting. They don't know how to fight. They don't draw anybody in. Whenever you hear those words spoken about a fighter, 9 times out of 10, especially in combination, not just by themselves, not secluded, but in concert with the other things I just said, combination of things. And 9 times out of 10, you don't even have to guess the race of that fighter that they talk about. 9 times out of 10 would be a black fighter. It's their way to legitimize why they're gonna not let him play in the reindeer games because they either know it's a couple of reasons. Well, there's really only one. You're scared, but you know you're gonna lose. Because I guess you can be scared of a fighter, and that's why you wouldn't fight him. But you could be more scared of losing, but you're not scared to fight. But in boxing, you is only good as your last fight. So that's what they'll say about fighters. Now, Casimero got the nod. He won, even though he didn't win. Rigondeaux hardly touched him. The ongoing joke about Rigondeaux is that the man is like 48 years old. Nobody would really know. Some of these foreign fighters, you don't really know how old they are. Rigondeaux is a Cuban fighter. You already know what Cuban fighters bring to the table. But Rigondeaux beat him easily. Just embarrassed him through the whole fight. And it's not from lack of trying. It's just he wasn't good enough. Casimero tried. He tried the Sean Porter method, make him uncomfortable, gun him down, try to jump on him. But he couldn't do shit. He couldn't catch him. He didn't know how to cut off the ring. And he was sloppy when he came in, and Rigondeaux had to pop his ass every time he did. And Rigondeaux was the champion. So one, you didn't take the fight from the champion. He won easily because you couldn't even hit him. But because there's no money, I guess, and I'm trying to be as fair as I can, we know that the sanctioning bodies care about the money they can make. So if your fighter is a exciting fighter or a draw, then chances are you're gonna make some money. Shouldn't be like that. The sanctioning bodies shouldn't be that divested into the boxing world where they feel like they can call the shots or write the narrative. But as it is today, that's how it is. Fighters are the pawns on the chess piece and on the chessboard, and the managers and the sanctioning bodies and who else? The promoters. They are the people playing the game, and it's almost like you're spending your money to come see them. So Casimero, in my opinion, lost. I said this last year, but let's get into the meat and the potatoes about this crazy ass motherfucker. That's true. I don't really like him. I don't, but I ain't gonna do him unfairly. So I'm gonna say this the best way I can. Casimero is accused. That part is not alleged. He is accused and under investigation. Again, that part is not alleged. According to the article, he is accused of, how did they say it? Lasciviousness, aka pedophilia. So I like how they use that word, because I mean, you see that word, you just gonna pass by it. Gonna pass by it. So let me just read what the article said, and I think I still kept it up because and the in boxing scene had this up. So I don't, because I don't want to put words, add nothing, and he's allegedly supposed to have done this. And I'm saying allegedly because Boxing Fans Talk TV here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, or me, Miss T, I don't know these people. I wasn't there. So it's all alleged as far as I'm concerned. But the charges, the investigation, those things are not alleged. And this article was written by Jake Donovan yesterday. John Riel Casimero remains the subject of an active legal investigation in the Philippines. An official complaint was filed on February 11th against the three-division and reigning WBO bantamweight titleist from Ormoc City, Philippines, who is accused of acts of lasciviousness and of being in violation of Republic Act 7610 Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. The complaint and pending investigation allege that Casimero made inappropriate contact with a minor last June in Taguig City. Violations of RA 7610 is punishable by imprisonment of no less than 3 months to no more than 3 years. Similarly, a suspect found guilty of the act of lasciviousness is punishable by imprisonment of 6 months to 6 years. According to the official police report, a copy of which was obtained by BoxingScene.com, the incident in question allegedly took place last June 7th at City Park Hotel, Manila in Taguig City, the hometown of the alleged victim and her best friend, who encouraged her to file a formal complaint. Now, it goes into the weeds of how old the person might have been and all this extra stuff. I can't call it. I can't call it. Why I think it's important to talk about here on Boxing Fans Talk TV is because I really want to see how this thing pan out. I promise you guys that I will follow this story. He is a champion, and if he's guilty of such things, that's conduct on becoming a champion. I can tell you, as a boxing coach, we make people sign papers because there has to be accountability and responsibility. You cannot divest your time and effort into training people to box, or a person, being in training to be a boxer, because boxing is not like a typical sport. It's not something you play, it's something you do. And there's all kinds of rules and regulations that come with being a boxer and responsibility. So, like, if you're a kid and you want to take boxing lessons, we make them sign a paper basically saying that they will adhere to XYZ. XYZ can be a myriad of things. You gotta listen to your parents. You're not taking no badass kids and you ain't listening to your parents or being disrespectful to adults and stuff. No, you're not gonna do that. You're not taking in kids ain't do what they supposed to do when they at school. You're not gonna do that. Criminals, wannabe criminals as children, and we're not doing that. Because it's a waste of our time. Things like that can get in the way of progress. Progress meaning if you're a kid, you're probably in the program to do amateur boxing, eventually to turn pro. Why waste your time with somebody who's interested in extracurricular activities, such as criminal activities, or you can't even be responsible enough to do your schoolwork? Because at no time, as a boxing coach, are we going to tolerate you deciding to drop out of high school? There's no reason in today's time that children don't finish high school, and I want to curtail that statement a little bit to say there's no rational reason why a kid shouldn't finish high school. Because there can be reasons. You lose your home, you don't become an orphan. You could have extenuating circumstances. You know, big stuff. Obvious stuff. But if you have a home and you living with your family, um, and everything's for the most part stable, we're not talking about nothing extreme, then you should be able to finish high school. Those days are behind us as Americans. In the 70s, you drop out of high school and say, you know what? I want to be a boxer. I'm going to go ahead and, just put my time and effort into becoming a boxer. And nobody look at you sideways. But we don't do that now. We advocate that you finish school and do what you're supposed to do as a child. Plenty time for boxing. Hell, in the States, I think you got to be 18. You might can be 17 with a waiver. But at 18, you can't even turn professional until you're that age in the States. Now, let's look at what we make adults sign. Definitely cannot be no criminal. Again, it's a waste of time for you as the boxer. It is a waste of time for us as coaches. You can't serve two masters. A boxing career requires a tremendous commitment to it, and it's a lot of things you got to do. You cannot parse your time in two different type of worlds. Second reason why I want to talk about this is a lot of young black athletes, especially, but just any male athlete. I don't even want to be sounding like I'm only just catering to blacks. But I always say especially blacks, because I don't know. It just seems like we fall into these categories all the time. Some kind of way, any great athlete that's black seem like they always turn into a criminal at one point. I mean, if you think about the highest paid, biggest athlete ever in our generation, or just in the 20th century, or now too in the 21st century, it seems like if you black, you're going to jail. You can be a lawyer. If you black, you're going to jail. No matter what you're doing, it's almost like I think it's a requirement for you to go to jail if you black, if you're not careful, because once you go to jail, guess what happens? It's your name in the system and you get fingerprinted. What a way to catalog some people. But it ain't just for blacks, it's for all people, especially people of color. Let me just say that because that is a risk for you to have to do some jail time or be in trouble. And the third one is how many times do stories like these got to take place before men understand what not to do and how to protect themselves um, to not fall in these type of predicaments. Now, they'll say lasciviousness, Lascivious, no, Lasciviousness. That's a mouthful in itself, but AKA pedophilia. That's all they had to say. It would have caught everybody's eyes. Maybe because it's in the Philippines, or maybe because of their publicists or whoever. They try to get ahead of the story. Don't fool me. Now, once a person engages in such acts, you always been like that. I do not believe you wake up and that's what you are. Especially in the middle of your career. Casimero might be new to us, but he is not new to boxing. He's still a young guy, but he's in his 30s. Actually, 31. Might be older. Might have had a birthday. But he's 31, last time I checked. And how do you get to that age you don't know no better? That's the problem I have with this. Even if you're innocent, because I know a lot of people going to say, you're going to want to put the onus on her, the young lady. Okay? If you get caught up in that, then you get caught up in that. But see, I can't get caught up in stuff like that. I don't look at things like that. Not just because I'm a lady or I'm a woman. It's because common sense dictates that I don't. And I'll tell you how. No woman in her right, stable mind. And I'm gonna say for this girl, I'm gonna put her in the category of a young woman. Is she not? Anybody with kids that's even in their early 20s know what I mean when I say, oh no shit. They don't know shit. And it's a way for you to look backwards and be like, oh, is I that dumb too? And your answer you got to give to yourself is yes. The things that I did when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I'm not talking no inappropriate shit, but things that I did. But never, if I knew about it or could help it, allow my kids to do it. Simple shit. Like I'm in my mid-20s. I come back from the state. I come back to the States from being overseas. I go get an apartment. I get an apartment in the basement. And my daughter tried some shit like that. Gonna hear my mouth. We're like, Lord have mercy. And I ain't shutting up till I get my way. Not realizing the danger, but see, when you young, you're invincible in your head. You think you know what you're doing. But I had an apartment in the basement. Like you had to walk in the main door of the apartment building and then go straight down. And there was 4 apartments down there. And I was the only girl that lived down there. There were 1-bedroom apartments. But nobody heard me. Nothing. And my patio was facing the street. So anybody could have ran up in there. I was in there almost a year before I realized, oh shit, let me get a stick and put it behind the door when it's closed. This dumb shit. And I was in my mid-20s. Wasn't thinking about my safety. And look, to throw insult to injury. Everybody down there stole drugs. Everybody. And I was in the Navy and I wore my dress kind of clothes when I went to work. So in the summer, I had on my whites and my skirt. And in the winter, I had on my blacks and my skirt. But we call it blue. So they see me come out with my butterfly necktie, my big cap, a combination cover, and my whites. I wore the whites, seemed like all the time. And the blues, they knew what I did. Some people, I don't know why, but they'll look at you in your uniform and think Maybe you belong to the police force. I don't know. But I learned this growing up in the hood or coming from humble beginnings. Mind your business. Don't stare too long. Don't reckless eyeball. Speaking of reckless eyeball, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. If you're looking at me through Facebook, come on in to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Lean on the heezy when you step into the heezy. And don't be afraid to jump in the chat or whatever. But hit the like button. Stop playing. Because like I said, a lot of y'all, right when the show ended, a lot of y'all are watching. Give me some credit. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Some of y'all, most of my folks that watch, getting off work, they probably listening as they driving. Shout outs to all of you. But y'all come in at least. When you get to the stop sign, hit the like button. Get these algorithms up. I don't get credit when you hit the like button in the Facebook. Hit the like button in here. And then go back to watching from the periphery out. But stop reckless eyeballing without giving me some likes. Come on, I'm going to need that. I need y'all to hook the sister up. But anyway, back to this Casimero. Like I said, it's a serious subject. I don't know how he allowed himself to be put in that predicament. When you are in an arena, you're in the company of mixed groups, like meaning females, males, different races, different cultures, whatever. If you're the oldest, you're the adult in the room. It make me wonder, do people forget the lesson? Remember when you were young and you had siblings, whoever was the oldest got in trouble? Like your little brother or sister could have did something, probably thought of it on their own. You probably didn't know what they was doing and probably didn't know it was coming. And your parents beat your ass though because you was the oldest on the scene. Well, fellas, when it comes to these young women, that's how y'all gotta be. You have to assume that she don't know no better. You have to. Especially if you don't want to be put in this light. This is not good. So, you also, when you're dealing with fans, especially young females, you gotta ask yourself the hard question. General Big Fish is in the building. What's popping, King? Said, what up, Miss T? Got about a hard subject right here. You gotta ask yourself that hard question when you're in the company of young females. This bitch know what she doing. I mean, you can say it just like that. And 9 times out of 10, if she got teen anything in her age, keep it pushing. Because the answer is hell the fuck no. You don't know what she's doing. If she 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, she still don't know what she's doing. I just told you, when you get a certain age, like at my age now, I be like, whew, but for the grace of God, all the stupid shit I did, and I wasn't doing no inappropriate shit. I'm just talking about, simple shit like that apartment I had in the basement in DC. The guy across from me sold weed. He had a lot of customers. The guy next to him must have sold something a little bit harder. It's his cat. Look, there's times that particular guy to the left, to the right of me, I had to look out my peephole before I went out, just to even go to work or take out the trash or whatever. Because I didn't know who the fuck was in that hall. It was a small, once you walked down in the basement, it was kind of small. I had to think about that shit. And I'm talking about going to work with a full Navy uniform on. I had to look out that peephole and it's like, out there today. Because I don't know what the motherfuckers gonna do. I'm thinking I might have to fight some of these motherfuckers. And they was weird looking, so I'm gonna assume he sold the hard shit like heroin or stuff the motherfuckers slice your throat for. And then the guy next to me, I know he sold cocaine, because he had a myriad of different type of customers. And I mean, all day, all night, these motherfuckers was me in this hallway. There was no avoiding. I was the clean house in the motherfucking basement. Like I said, you walk down the stairs, to the left immediately was an apartment. To the left of them was an apartment. From the stairs right across was mine. And to the left of me was an apartment. And there was no wiggle room in that little hallway. Nobody would have heard me. Anything could have happened. But you know what? They all treated me like a little sister. I'm sorry for this noise. I don't know why this stuff keep coming in. I apologize. They treated me like a little sister. They would speak to me. I would speak to them. If they saw me bringing groceries from my car, they would help me. Matter of fact, I would, because the parking lot, you had to go up the stairs, out the door, and way to the left to get to my car. I would get however many bags I can carry, and I might have like 7 or 8 bags, but I bring like 2. And this is when they was still paper bagging it. And I would bring it down to the basement, to my apartment, and they would know. I don't know how they knew, but I told you traffic was going on all day, every day, and through the night and everything. And one of them would hear it, and they were like, "Oh, sis, I got you," or "Oh, ma, I got you," and they would come upstairs with me. I never treated them like, I never clutched the pearls, so to speak. I never, I was like, "Oh, thanks, bro," and I good looking out. And they were like, "How you doing? How you doing, young lady? How that Navy treating you?" I was like, "Good, good." I treated them like regular folks. I acted normal, and I was scared though. But after a while, I saw that as long as I act right and mind my business and didn't trip, hey, it kind of was a good place for me. But that could have went any kind of way. Any kind of way. But that's what I mean. I was 24 when I picked that apartment. Dumb shit. That's why I say when they young. Yeah. That's why I be like, I give some of the boxes a reprieve and some of the things they say, especially when they 24 and under. I be like, hey, young, chalk it up to you. When I'm at an age now, I can look back and be like, girl, you was dumb too. So, Casimero, I can't give that to you. You in your 30s. So, what the deal was, the young lady saw him working out, doing road work, running or whatever. And of course, she wanted to get a picture. I guess he was passing her businesses, maybe a slight little strip mall or something. And she wanted an autograph and a picture because she's a big fan. But he denied her, but he probably had his handlers like, yo, circle back and get that damn number. You know what I'm saying? And we'll hit up later. So he was staying in that little city, which is her hometown, where she from. So he invites her over to her hotel, mistake number 1. Mistake number 1. If you're that desperate to please your fans, because I'm sure she wasn't the only one hitting you up as she was taking a jog down the road. You could have said, you know what? I'm gonna be at this strip mall between 6 and 8 this Saturday. Y'all come out and get an interview, or y'all come out and get a picture and whatnot, and outside some autographs. That's the proper way to handle it when you're a grown ass man or grown ass woman. That's how you handle that. Casimero invited her to his room. And I guess she came there to get her picture. He was stalling on the picture. And I guess it started raining real bad. So his bright idea was, hey, why don't you stay? It's raining real bad. And then go home next day. But see how fishy this shit started to sound? It's raining bad, so we're gonna make you stay. All the money you got, Casimero, you couldn't hail a cab. You couldn't tell you. I know you got a driver. You couldn't tell your driver to take her home, rain and be down. But the bright idea was her to stay. So, of course, it gets late at night. She has to go to sleep. She decides to lay in the bed in such a way where not really in front of him, kind of like at the foot of the bed or whatever. Why are you in the bed with him in the first place? But we not gonna keep laying this blame at the young lady. I can't because somebody in there was the adult, and that was Casimero, and that he's in his 30s, and this girl is a teenager. So pretty soon, some kind of way they face to face, and he inappropriately, supposedly, allegedly, allegedly, I have to say that, allegedly touched her or fondled her, not just in her breast, but in her tutu area. Y'all know what I mean? Tutu, aka Coochie, several times over, and she fended him off because she felt like she couldn't go to sleep. And that's all that they would say. And you got to think too, this is the Philippines. I don't know how much information they're gonna release because they already tried to hide the word pedophilia under the word lasciviousness. Y'all didn't know what that word means. That's pretty much what they're talking about because it you have to look up the definition, but the word itself by itself is just not on a minor. You have to add that stuff afterwards. It's the act of, like kind of pushing yourself on somebody. But it said in the article that he did that to a minor. And there's some dispute about her age because apparently the age of consent there is 18. And the point is, this is why sometimes it's important for some of y'all guys, y'all reach that kind of age to be settled down somewhere. Stop trying to be the Romeo, but you can't tell nobody when to get married and this, that, and the other. But hey, you got to be careful out there. Why are you entertaining a teenager? Why do you give them any time at all? You're the adult. Not. He's not. Now, clearly, he wasn't being an adult on the scene. And whoever else he rode with wasn't either. Apparently, this is normal to him. Ain't nothing normal about this situation. They wasn't thinking. My dad had a saying like, "Did you think?" And he'd be like, "Think, think," and he'll pump, tap us in the head, not punch. But like, think, think, and you get done. You get told that so many times. That's what you do. Don't think, think. And the reason why this is important in these boxing streets, I want to see how they handle it. We just had Rolly Romero. Not that I'm taking for Rolly, but fair is fair. Going through getting due process is the proper way to do things. Rolly just got pulled off a fight, lost money in the process for something allegedly said about him that was just said through social media. No, not enough evidence to bring up charges, indict him, arrest him, or anything. He didn't get any of that. But he got held accountable by the networks, by the promoters, and could have been held accountable by sanctioning bodies. That's what they did to Rolly. And Rolly and that net, y'all see that net? I've been trying to catch him for days. And Rolly is a man of color. Rolly has black in him. So, I mean, some people can look at him like he's a little black dude. But yes, he's a man of color. If you want to say he belonged to the Latino set, you can say that too. But, he got stripped from his fight. Whatever potential earnings he was going to have, gone. The opportunity to upgrade or elevate his stuff in his career, all for somebody just saying something. And I mean, like I said, the networks acted swiftly. Let's see what they do with Casimero. Because Casimero, this is not somebody just saying it in social media. He's he's being investigated. That's not alleged. He is being investigated. He do have charges. That's not allegedly. What's allegedly is what she accused him of. Because I think it hasn't gone through the whole due process. Then y'all know the Philippines, they have that crazy leader over there. That dude real strict. I think he's that guy who, if I ain't mistaken, is he that guy who said if you sell drugs over there, you can be put to death or something? Well, he won't play him. I could have my places mixed up, but somewhere over there they had a couple of leaders that were ushered in all over the world that was just as troublesome as Trump was. I think that's what saved us because a lot of these forward thinking nations had Trump like presidents or prime ministers at the helm at the same time. Because God forbid, Lord, whew, they wasn't smart enough to do irreparable damage like they could have. But that's another thing. But Casimero, you didn't think. What y'all need to know in these boxing streets, he's a part of Pacquiao team. He's a Pacquiao fighter. He is being charged and investigated for lasciviousness, aka pedophilia, breaking the rule of RP, whatever that number was that I read. I want to say it, and if I get it wrong, but breaking the rule that they have, there is debate whether or not the girl was 16 at the time or 17. The legal age of consent in the Philippines is 18. Casimero is in his 30s, 31. It happened last year before he fought Guillermo Rigondeaux. And anyway, he was due to fight somebody else in some kind of way. That fight fell through, and that's how he fought Guillermo August 14 last year. Remember? The big to do because he really thought that he had arrived. They gifted him. So that's amazing how they just they put Rolly in that predicament. I ain't even gonna say a black fighter. Put Rolly in that predicament. And tell me how that was able to happen in like February, and you make it out the country and to a fight that was broadcasted for a belt August 14th, and nobody did nothing. This girl is accusing you. You are under investigation and you're being charged. Now, if that was Rolly, can you imagine the fallout? Because all it took for Rolly was for somebody to accuse him on social media. The first people to jump on that was not Floyd Mayweather, it was the networks. Was the Casimero fight on the networks? They had no evidence to say what Rolly did, but Casimero, according to this girl, he actually was putting hands on body. I mean, I don't know how personal you get by touching a woman's private area. But the girl got teeth in her age, and you're in your 30s. Let me put this out too, in case a lot of men don't get it or understand. I know some of y'all gonna watch this in replay. Hit the like button, please. Please hit the like button. I see the number jump up and come down. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And comment how y'all feel. This is a touchy subject, but we have to look at it because some people gonna pay dearly with their career and some not. So we have to document. We have to make note of people who either fall victim to this in boxing or people who are violators. Because whatever they do to one person, they better keep that same energy across the board. Because I'm not understanding any other way. That's why I said we can't play with it, can't be casual with it, you know, and it's going to happen. History has shown us it's going to happen. I don't know what kind of talks got to give young men today. And I'm not like trying to point the finger at just men, but I'm like, this always happens to y'all. I don't know what kind of talk, what kind of mentorship. A lot of people worried about the demasculation of men, which is a worthy worry to have. But just as important as that, or up there with that, is just inappropriate shit. Messing with these young. But let me say this, let me set the record straight. No woman, little girl, teenager, whatever, I'm just saying woman. No woman in her right, stable mind, who is 15, 16, 17, whatever, is going to desire some 30-some-year-old man. Let me repeat that. And I can say that comfortably. It's about time. But no woman in their right, stable mind, stable being the operative word, is going to desire some man that's in his 30s. And really, it's about timing, because that's about 15 years different, right? So if a woman was 30 and she was desiring a man who was 45, that's 15 years different. That's different. You know why it's different? Because he a grown man. He didn't stop growing. He is what he is. She's a grown woman. She's fully developed and stopped growing. It is what it is. Nobody besmirches that type of shit. I don't look at that and be like, ew. I don't look at it the opposite way. If the man is 30 and the woman is 45, I don't say ew. But I'm going to say ew if the person is 15 or 16 and you in your 30s, ew. If she has it, and if you find a woman that you don't know what you're talking about. A lot of girls, be into that. A lot of girls is broken. And why the fuck you want a broken person anyway when you have a promising career? And you know this can derail all that shit. How would you want somebody that's broken? R. Flores D is in the building. It's Bobby King. He said it's fabricated by three brothers who has a father as a pastor. What's fabricated? I'm not sure what you mean by it's fabricated. The story over there is, according to the article, he is under investigation. And I've been clear with my words. I'm not accusing this dude. I'm saying her accusation is allegedly. But what's not alleged is that he's under investigation. And he has been charged. That's not alleged. Whatever the story is. As I said before, when you're the adult on the scene, you are the adult on the scene. Remember when you was young and your little brother or sister did something, you supposed to got that ass whooped. Because you was the oldest. Same thing. You don't put all type of responsibilities on, she should have known what she was doing. She came to my room at whatever. You really gonna put that onus on somebody that's a teenager? Although she should know, but you're the adult on the scene. You know better than her. You have a promising career. You're a champion. Conduct unbecoming. How does what she should have known absolve you of what you damn sure needed to know or should have known as an adult? You all the way adult. You're not even partially. You don't get the, he young. You young, you always be younger than somebody, but you don't get the, he's young. Talking about Casimero. You don't get that no more. You're in your 30s. General Big Fish said, it's a thin line between a good decision and a bad one. It's too easy to mess up, hard to clean up. Exactamundo. Exactamundo. And like I said, for boxing, this is important because it seemed to, no matter whether it's boxing, hockey, football, baseball, basketball, why is this a problem? How many times do it have to happen before people get it? Or you just that kind of dirty, sicko, perverted, or whatever you want to call it? You are a pervert. If you're in your 30s and you find somebody that's a teenager attractive or desirable, something wrong with you. I don't care what nobody say. All you gotta do, it tells me a lot. Either must don't have kids or you not that invested in your children. Because if you're raising any kids, which will be the hardest job you will ever do in your life, there is no job harder than being a parent. None. And people will debate that, but that's when a person goes in there and start trying to debate it. I already know you really want a parent. You really want in it to win it in the first place. That's my conclusion. Because there is no harder job than being a parent. And you just see how they think. You know how many times you got to repeat yourself to a kid? Even the 16-year-olds. Simple shit. Did you wash your hands? Go brush your teeth before you go to bed. Did you take the trash out? How many times you got to say that? Do we repeat ourselves to adults? If you roommates with somebody that you didn't grow up with and y'all adults, and y'all know y'all supposed to take the trash out, and say you come home after, like you getting off work, you work the late night shift, and you come home after the trash man comes to pick up y'all garbage. How long are you gonna ask your roommate, did you take the trash out? Oh man, I forgot. But when you say, hey, take the trash out, I gotta send a text. Don't forget to take the trash out. Y'all 23 and 24. What the fuck? That's gonna set me off. Because people don't repeat themselves to adults. Hey, did you pay the water bill? Pay the rent? Or don't forget to go pick up the baby at daycare. Did you get the milk? Did you get the formula? Are you serious right now? But we know teenagers, you have to repeat yourself for important shit as well as little itty bitty shit. So anybody looking for a teenager to make common sense or make rational decisions, you be looking and waiting a long time. So who the onus falls on to at that point? The adult in the room. When you're 30-some years old, why is you touching a teenage breast? Can't find other 30-year-olds with nice, soft, supple breasts? I mean, there's 30-year-old women. It don't matter how old the woman is, we all got coochies. You can find a 30-some-year-old woman, or 25, or somebody your age, unless they be a teenager. But I tell you, the networks, I can't say for sure. Did they know? I don't know how they didn't know. But apparently everybody act like they didn't know. This happened last year. He was able to have his fight with Rigondeaux, and it was broadcasted, and he became a champion. But the girl said something about Rody, and whole opportunity was stripped. That was the difference of opinion. But now I didn't even say difference of opinions. It was a difference of response. Because the networks is the one that stripped Brody first, and then everybody else followed suit. They could have did the same thing to Casimero, but they didn't. We have to ask, why? I'm supposed to question why. And I'm going to talk about it because I'm make sure we remember it. And Team Pacquiao is dismissing. Makes it seem like they don't even care. Why I say they don't care? Haven't spoke about it. Why to skip? He knows about it. They was over there trying to get the information. Team Pacquiao, they didn't say nothing. They was dismissing, like they don't believe it happened. See, if I was a 31-year-old dude, I'm gonna be speaking louder because I'm gonna know it didn't happen. Because one, you ain't coming to my room. Two, I'm not inviting her over to my hotel to take no damn picture. I catch your ass Saturday when I come stand in front of your place of work where you try to flag me down to get an autograph. And not only I'm gonna give you an autograph, I'm giving everybody an autograph. And then I'm out. I'm not entertaining no conversation with no damn teenager, and I'm in my 30s. Are you crazy? I used to tell my daughter, I said, girl, if any man trying to hold a conversation longer than 2 minutes with you, your motherfucking spidey sense better go off. You better be looking for me. Because now he gonna be talking to me. What the fuck you want with my daughter? Can I help you? I said grown people who got common sense don't do that. Ain't no man in his right mind wanna sit up there and hold court with you, a child, for no longer than a couple of minutes. If he's smart and knowing how predicaments men can find themselves in, if he was smart. I said at that point, after 2 minutes, you call me. Don't worry about mom. Call me. I got this. Don't trust me. But I will follow this case. I want to see a couple of things. I want to see how the boxing world responds and treats it. I just do. I want to see how the sanctioning bodies respond to it. I want to see how the promoters respond to it. And I definitely want to see how the networks respond to it. And to me, they better keep that same energy. I know what they're going to say once it start really getting some airtime and probably hearing it first. Because I know this is a touchy subject for anybody to talk about. And I don't say it casually. And I'm not trying to destroy this guy's career or reputation. I absolutely said it's not casual. And I'm not going to play around with his name. The accusations, to be clear, is alleged by this woman. Him being under investigation is not alleged. It is what it is. Him being charged or anything and under investigation is not alleged. Whether he be found guilty, that's another thing. He has to get his due process, and however the laws work out over there. The age of consent is 18. Problem is, she wasn't 18, according to the preliminary investigation. But he was in his 30s. But I want the networks and all of them to keep the same energy. Because I personally do not want to see what happened to Rolly to no one. Not a white fighter, not a Latino fighter, not a black fighter. Like no man, whether he a fighter or not. Because you just can't play with stuff like this. You can't. But we will see. We'll absolutely see in the months to come how they gonna play this out. We're gonna see if it catch any fanfare, if it catch, on to people talking about it. We're gonna see if old media is gonna talk about it. Because Casimero is catching favor. And we can glean that favor if you go all the way back to his fight, August 14th last year, which happened after this alleged incident, which he was able to leave his country. He wasn't stopped right there, come to another country and get on the network and have a fight. He wasn't stopped, but why threw a monkey wrench and became a champion. All with this hanging over his head. Brody is accused in social media, and all hell breaks loose. Not that I'm kicking for Brody, but I'm kicking for people treating men fairly or anybody in this predicament. not something you play with. Don't play with people's lives. Not to accuse him or for him to be a violator. You don't play these games. Inappropriate nothing with no children. I be damned. Rolling Red says smash that like button. Indeed, King. Welcome to the building. They be out there reckless eyeballing. Hit the like button. This is good information. I got the video. I'm marking it. So if we hear about it later, because I'm going to tell you, anybody who engaged in such things, they didn't wake up doing that. He ain't wake up at 31 and decided to be that type of dude. He been like that at 20. And if he did it before and all the time and got away with it, what makes you think he gonna stop? They can't stop themselves. He's a little guy, and little guys have that little man complex sometimes, or a lot of times guys like to be much bigger than their woman. He's a little guy. Ain't no excuse. Cause he's a little guy. There's little women, little grown ass women out there, just as little as he is, and fully grown as he is. No excuse. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how quiet they try to keep it. No, I can't live in a world where we see what happened to Rolly. And again, I'm not a big Rolly fan. I'm not kicking for Rolly. But I can't live in a world where that happens like that. I think about my future grandsons. I think about my nephew. I think about my son. I think about shit like that. Can't live in a world where we can charge a dude up with some shit like that and it don't be true and they get held to the fullest extent of the law and then other people just, carte blanche, just do whatever they want to do and bums the word. No. I hear boxing fans talk to me. Our skills got to be balanced. Got to be balanced. So that's why I'm speaking on it. But I wish all parties luck. I wish all the truth comes out. If Casimero is innocent, I wish. If that woman was violated, I wish her luck. I wish the truth come out. And I wish lessons are learned. And especially for people and young men, whether you're a fighter or not, stop this notion. Just go out to all these older guys. Ain't no woman in her right mind, not right, stable mind, think you are desirable when she's 15 and 16 and you're in your 30s and shit. That is not desirable to young people. It's desirable one-sided to you. And vice versa. It's not desirable. Not. And if you say, but T, it's a lot of women who do that. Make what you're saying untrue. Because I know plenty of young girls who trying to get at these old cat daddies. Yeah. I just said the operative word was stable. Stable, right mind. And if you're a person that they gotta get with a broken bird, a person that's broke down in the inside mentally, it's shame on you. That should be the lesson. Because if you get her happy in her right stable mind, she gonna say no. But if she broke down mentally, yes, so. If she's always been abused, I guess so. If she don't know no better, because a guy in his 30s would damn sure outwit a girl who's 16. Easy. That's easy. Easily to be manipulated. And if you know that, because you do know that, especially if you're young and he's still young and you're in the business of mowing down chicks, I ain't mad at you. But I'm mad at you if you're mowing down teenagers. And nasty is what you are. And I'm going to get off of that. Y'all remember this. Y'all remember this and do follow the story. Let us know if y'all see something. Because I don't think they want to publicize this. I ran across this by accident. It should have been on the front page of everything. And then the fact that they use the word lasciviousness. I wouldn't have known what that shit is. I said, why are they using this word? What the fuck that mean? And I looked it up. You could have easily said pedophilia. You could have said that. Once I looked it up and then saw the article, saw how it read, I feel you. How hard is it to say that? You know, accused of pedophilia activity. When you mess with somebody that's underage, that's what it is. No. Into the wise should be sufficient. 30s, looking at a teenager, your late 20s, looking at a teenager. It's nasty. They don't desire you. And she must be broke. And she must need food or need money, need something. You should be the adult at all times. No. Walk away. Don't even allow yourself to be put in no kind of predicament. Like you gotta like oh boy, don't leave me. Stay with me and make sure we don't have no alone time and nothing private or nothing. That don't mean homeboy, you stay with me in this room with this girl because both of y'all going down. It makes it worse. Be like, I don't want you to go home because it's raining. That's why she stayed in the room with her. Because they told her it's raining too high. I want you to stay here. Like rain gonna melt you. I don't even think they get winters like we do. The rain is gonna melt you. Casimero, you got money? You get a hotel room. But well, darling, just stay in the hotel room until tomorrow because it's dangerous out there when it rains like this. See how easy that was? See how rational that was? If you won't looking for no that's probably what you would have said. Would you have given that opportunity to a little 16-year-old boy? Because I'm assuming he's a straight guy. But if you, these are the questions you ask when you just don't know and you be like, wait a minute, man. Would I do this if it was a 16-year-old boy? And if your answer is no, that's what it is for her. If you're worried about her safety, get another room. That's not hard. But anyway, that's why I feel the way I feel. Y'all can feel how y'all feel. If y'all have any questions or anything, we'll put the invite in because that's a delicate subject matter. And I think that's something that y'all older men need to definitely mentoring these young guys. Or when y'all see y'all friends who are older stepping into that type of light, y'all need to chastise their ass, check them on spot. I do. I do. I got guy friends. I got friends, you know, um, I can't really reveal their age. But sometimes guys crack me up. I be like, if you took that little girl, I will fuck you up right now. I will put you out my motherfucking mouth. And I'm talking about we just friends. Ain't no intimacy or nothing. But sometimes it be like, we could be driving. Oh, you guys, ain't nothing wrong with looking. They could be looking. My friend was looking. And I knew it. I don't know. My feeling was he gonna look. I mean, you driving. Can't, I'm on this side of the street. I can't help but see what's over here. My instinct was he's gonna look. I can look 1 second. That's a little girl. Maybe when he looked, he don't see the little girl in her, but I see it. So I forewarned him. So I don't even want it to happen. If you look and gawk and any of that shit, I'm gonna pull over and you can get the fuck out. That's how I roll. He check you right now before any of that happens. Oh, shit. And he admitted, I didn't know that was somebody young, like he couldn't tell. Motherfucker, I don't know how people can't tell. They can be like, T, how can you tell? I don't think it's nothing special. I don't think it's a special gift I got. I think T was a little girl too. I know how we develop. That's what I think. I think all women can tell. That's what I think. So let me move past if I get upset. I thank y'all for listening and bearing with me. If y'all have any questions or any statements y'all want to add, I put the link in the chat. Y'all come on in, hit the like button. Stop reckless eyeballing that motherfucking like button. And share and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've ever subscribed, you don't need to keep subscribing every time you come. Because all it do is it take it back and put it back and take it back. So you subscribe once, but when you come in, hit the like button. Stop reckless eyeball. Lean on the leasy when you step into the easy. If you're in Facebook, come on in. Talk about some good stuff. That won't even nothing about boxing per se, other than the fact that that's that dude's profession. And he's already on the gravy train. You can already see them giving him favor because he did not win that fight last year. No way, no how. He couldn't make heads or tails of Rigging Out. Rigging Out outclassed him, and all he could say was he boring, he not exciting, and all this stuff. He kept running. That's what he say. But that's what you say when you face a fighter that you can't beat. And usually, I'm sorry, those fighters that get called that shit, they're usually black fighters. That's what it is. I'm not putting the race card, but it's just what it is. There ain't too many other type of fighters, like a white fighter, Latino fighter, that I ever hear them say things like that about. Always a black fighter. But the funny thing is, the people who say that can't beat that black fighter's ass. Ain't that amazing? That's the conclusion they come up with. And he lost the fight and he was gifted a belt. I mean, well, damn. You gonna take a fucking championship from somebody because they outclass somebody that you may like or prefer? That's what we do. So you was catching favor. You was catching favor for even making it to the fight and having that shit broadcast. They didn't, sorry, some on my lip. They didn't Rolly Romero you. I wonder why. Anyway. De La Hoya. De La Hoya is really trying to put a bid in for Ryan Garcia to face George Kambosos. De La Hoya is his promoter. It's his job to get Ryan the best fights. But it's just, De La Hoya, you got to keep the same energy. I stay to the story that you said. You said last year, and I paraphrase, because I can't quote, but I'll paraphrase. I'm going to wait till Devin and Tank, I believe Tank was the other one. I'm going to wait till Devin and Tank move out the 135 division up to the 140 division before I angle Ryan Garcia and Jojo Diaz, for that matter, a fight for the championship belt. That's what you said, De La Hoya. Not that long ago. It wasn't even a year ago. It was months ago that you said that shit. I did a whole video on it. And now that the belts are not in Tio's hand, it's in George Kambosos. And I've done a video saying all them top welterweights, or lightweights, I'm sorry. All those lightweights, whether they're the top or not, they look at George as food. Nobody really believes that George is the bee's knees. It's a fluke. He's a one-hit wonder. That's what he is right now. And I hope that catches on. But if it catches on, I hope it doesn't get in the way what Mr. Haney is trying to do. Young Devin. I don't care. Truth is truth. Rationally speaking, logically speaking, the fight that should go down is Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Them the only two in that division with the belts. George Kambosos is not undisputed. I don't care how many times they want to, this is a weird way of them trying to say he's undisputed without saying it. They say now, he has all the 4 belts. No, he don't. He got a French fry belt that was made up for the sole purpose of people ducking other fighters. That's it. It wasn't even supposed to be a belt that you win after a match. And it's a belt that you got to ask for. But when you have that belt, you don't have to meet mandatories. You don't have to fight who you don't want to fight. Duck. It's a duckaroo belt. That's what it is. That's all it is. And the first person that got it was Canelo Alvarez. The second person that got it is Lomachenko. And then the thing, and Mauricio Suleiman, who is the president of the WBC franchise, sanctioning body, and it's headquartered out of Mexico. This dude obviously favors Mexicans. He paid for Mexicans. He lied for Mexicans. All these sanctioning bodies supposed to be ran as a nonprofit. He run it as a profit, and nobody says or do anything to him. He makes up rules as they go along. You can tell he runs his sanctioning body as profit because got 1 million motherfucking belts, and you got to pay sanctioning fees. I've done a video on how much is expected to be paid to him. The sanctioning fees, it is based on the purse that you receive, and not only do you, the person holding the belt, has to pay, but your corner does too, and the other corner, and the other fighter, and their promoter, or if they got the same promoter, the promoter has to pay twice. I mean, they getting money out the wazoo. No wonder they can make these belts diamond and motherfucking all gold and all that shit. Oh, they getting rich off these belts. And they showing discrimination. Well, Ryan is Mexican. But he fell out of favor with his uncle, Canelo. I don't like Canelo. Everybody know I. But I don't think Canelo, I don't hate Canelo. And there are times when Canelo do a solid, and I will say it. He's a tremendous fighter. Has a lot of talent. Works hard at his craft. Appreciative of his opportunities. Because he got that opportunity with Floyd Mayweather, and he made it do what it do. A lot of people fought Floyd Mayweather, and they subsequently decided to retire. That's them. Some people fought Floyd and didn't know how to take the lemons and make lemonade. That's them. Canelo took lemons by fighting Floyd because he was going to lose anyway. Floyd, I told you in the beginning, no special effects. Coming in big was not going to help him. Floyd sunned his ass, and he told him he was. Humbled him. But it was evidently clear that people were going to cake and cheat for Canelo, even if, let's say Canelo want to be on the up and up. There's somebody in that transaction of whatever bout he's going into that's going to try to cheat for him. You remember one of the judges in the Floyd fight scored it even, a tie, 114-114. A motherfucking lie. But that judge, I think it was a she, did that shit on purpose. Because the Mexicans have an agenda. They got to be top dog. They don't care how they get it, fair or unfair. And they brought Ryan Garcia bitch ass into the fold. Come here, you remember Rich Fry? They brought him into the fold, and they saw how much of a weasel he was. I'm sorry, Ryan. I don't mean to, besmirch anybody, but I have to with you. You do some despicable shit. You know what I'm saying? You would allow a fighter to believe that you're gonna fight them, knowing you're not, whether they got money or not, and you don't take in consideration that this fighter has to pay his trainers. Getting ready for a fight is not free. And trying to get to the location of the pending fight costs money. Because last time I checked, you don't wait to the last minute. Buy plane tickets or reserve rooms, shit like that. And then you will bow out the least of things. That's what you do. You use men names to make your name prominent. And I always say, like a chicken and a duck. It's a duck. And I always say too, he likes to be a local hero. Some guys is good with that, like get a little fame, get a little notoriety, get a little coins, and now the people in the local area know you, and you're laying pipe to the local girls at a greater pace than when nobody knew who you was, and you good. 'Cause that's what young Ryan is doing. And nobody's begrudging Ryan for having fun. But damn, are you gonna take this thing seriously? That's what Canelo pretty much had to come out and say. He pretty much called you a bitch. Your own man. Big Unc, the OG. Because that's what Canelo is, y'all young fighters. Call you a bitch. Now you want to make up a narrative like, oh, you voluntarily left the Eddie Reynoso camp. No, you. And then Oscar take it for you because wasn't his state. And Oscar got to make money off you some kind of way. He bitching you out too. He pimping you out, I should say. So Eddie and them was through with your ass because boxing is not something you play. Boxing is something you do. We all know that. And you wasn't winning when you wasn't up for the job. You have never became champion. Ever. But yet, you got to be in line for championship belts. Not just one, not just two, but three. Where they do that at? You had an interim belt, which made you the mandatory of one of the champions in your division, and you were so scared that you threw the belt away or you dropped it. Tried to get not one but a couple of fights to be the mandatory. I mean, all it took is one. You were the mandatory, and you became the interim. For those casuals that's watching me, interim is like a belt, kind of like designating you as top seed in that sanctioning body. It's 4 belts. So he became the interim for the WBC, which would have made him have to face Devin Haney, which he knew he didn't want none of that. But then he tried to angle another fight with somebody, with Jojo Diaz. But see, even people that are not black are catching on to the tomfoolery. He is the reason now that going forward, a bunch of fighters will probably have to put the duck clause in their contracts because you got fighters ducking all over the place for superficial ass reasons. So, I mean, just understand when you do that shit that you cost another fighter money, and it doesn't matter if they rich or, they got the money to burn like that. That's improper and not polite, and it's just bad protocol due to another fighter because the shit ain't free. Training, boxing training is not free. Getting prepared for a fight to include how you gonna get to the fight, the tickets to the fight, whatever doctor's appointments you gotta go to. None of that shit is free. But because you have a big following on YouTube, you pretty much like YouTube sensation. Jake Paul. Jake Paul will one day, maybe amongst other boxers, be considered the real deal as a boxer. Shout outs to him for the things he accomplished. Shout out to him for the things that he did well. He criticized him when he do stupidity. This is a young boy too, or a young man. And when I say young boy, I don't mean no harm and disrespect to anybody, but you're like in your early 20s, you're a young boy to me. As children your age. So I'm just saying, what's the difference between Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia? Real difference. No real difference. And he's supposed to be a real fighter, Ryan. That's why people give you a hard time. And Oscar doing what he's supposed to do as a promoter. If they up the draws, they up the draws. They up the draws and give you a shot at the title. Shit, Oscar did what he was supposed to do. At this point with the George Kambosa thing, because he is on his duck train too. He has boarded the duck train. We're gonna see who catch favor. Is it gonna be Ryan? Is it gonna be young Ryan? Is it gonna be old ass Lomachenko? Old man of the bunch? Or is it gonna be young Devin Haney? The one who actually got the last piece of the puzzle? Ain't become undisputed without seeing him. Nobody can. Or are they trying to wait till Devin grow out the weight and then he has to drop the belt and move up? But Oscar, we haven't forgot what you said. And JoJo could have listened to you because he under you too. But JoJo ain't a bitch. JoJo was like, run me that fight with Devin. Shit, I'll be your Huckleberry. And comported himself well. See, we're just getting in. I mean, this is the path and the career you guys chose. Don't be scared of another fighter. If everybody's living righteous, in the righteous way, you're going to fight and you're going to live to see another day. God willing. But I know that sometimes things can happen, but we have to make sure that that's kind of a rarity rather than a common thing. Why I abhor cheating and such things, because the risk is already there. But don't be scared of the man. Just get in there. Now, when Joe Guzman, who is an excellent trainer, probably a Hall of Fame trainer, I don't know. If he not, he should be. He get a sense of young Ryan's laziness. Gonna drop him like a hot potato. And Ryan gonna say it was him that dropped Guzman. Guzman ain't got time for the rah-rah. Really don't. And this is the last part. Now, I'm not gonna do a Black History because I'm gonna do tomorrow. But I'm gonna try to squeeze in 3 tomorrow. Because I'm making up for, I want to every day, Monday through Friday that I'm on, do a Black History. And I want to make up for the days that I missed. And I did that the other day. So I'm going to just pile them in like that. I'm going to try to hold my tongue from here forward in a certain way. And I want y'all to understand. Now, I put the link in the chat if y'all want to jump in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I see the numbers go up. I see them go down. Hit the like button. Come on in and just hit the like button. I'm asking. Going once. I'm asking, please. Hit the like button if you're in this square circle. Come on. I'm gonna try to hold my tongue going forward. I spoke about Ugas and what he had to say about his pending fight. I spoke about what Earl said, and both of them are trying to drum up interest in their pending bout coming up in April. But as they should. April is around the corner, y'all. I spoke about Bud in his interview over the past weekend. and he seemed like he have a change of heart. So here's my conclusion with all three of them, because only all three of them should worry about all three of them. They should not be looking at Virgil Ortiz, Sanders, Connor Ben, Kell Brook, any of them motherfuckers. They should be looking at each other. When you have the chance to go to the Super Bowl of boxing, undisputed, you gotta take your motherfucking ass to the Super Bowl. As boxing fans, that's what we want to see. And right now, the welterweight division has a chance to go to the Super Bowl of boxing, which is undisputed, and that nothing get in the way. Now, I said, whatever Bud said does not negate whatever we knew that happened before out of either one of their mouths. Doesn't negate it. What he said this week. What Spence said doesn't negate nothing. And Ugas is new to the crowd. So his don't change nothing either. But what I do see is I see all of them had some kind of change of heart. I do remember some people trying to speak out, and I remember myself trying to play the middle, trying to make sure we're fair, trying to not hold one person feet to the fire, and we're not gonna do everybody like keeping the same energy. Trying to be realistic and everything, was very hopeful, and all that till the wind was knocked out of me. You know what I'm saying? So going forward, everybody's trying to put on a brave face, is what I see. Everybody's trying to maintain composure and trying to put out the fires. So let's work with them to a certain extent. Anything in the future, like from the day forward, I said we just let it lie. We just let it lie. Collect your information, let it lie. Everything that happened today and backwards, fair game. So if you go to a channel and they still talk about when he was calling for the big fish, or Earl said I'm gonna clean up my side of the street and take the easy route, all of that's still fair game because all of that happened. But what I would like to give a concerted effort, and if you think what I'm saying is rational and logical, please do follow suit. If you don't, stand on your 10 toes. But all I'm saying is I'm going to try to make a concerted effort to, hold my tongue from anything that happens from this day forward. I'm going to try to. I mean, don't be blatant. Don't test me. Stay away from the wine bottles. Don't test me. Why do I feel this way? It's getting close. It's crucial timing right now. March is next week. Next week, people. Next week. March. And April is around the corner. Y'all know we're going to zoom through March. Y'all know I got 31 days. We're going to zoom through March. Y'all know we are. Once April hit, that's going to zoom. We got to be feeling what is realistic. What is realistic to ask or expect from the two fighters we want to see the most? We can't 100% assume that Earl is going to be victorious. We have to wait and see with that one. That's coming around the corner. But for the most part, a lot of people, including myself, think that Earl will be victorious. I don't think it will be easy, but I think it will be victorious. And for me, it has a lot to do with how well his eyes hold up to the pressure that Ugas about to put on. And if Ugas can put that kind of pressure on him. But what's realistic? What is a realistic? These are the questions that I want us to be thinking about going forward. What's a realistic time after the fight? Talking about after Earl and Ugas fight to start negotiations between Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. Like sending over the contract. What's the realistic time? Is it a day? Is it a week? 2, 3, 4 weeks? What is a realistic time? to send that first term sheet over. Just because you start negotiations, it don't mean May y'all gonna be fighting, or June, or July. You can set the fight for September, giving everybody ample time to ramp up, be ready. That August, October. Yeah, I mean, time is of the essence. But what is the realistic time? For me personally, and I'm not a part of that crew, it's just me speaking. I 2 months pass by, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna just say that. Because it don't take that long to get in a negotiation. Both Earl and Uga seem to think that they got it sold up in the bag. Somebody might come out hurt. Of course, that goes without saying. If somebody come out injured or something like that, which is possible, you know, if Earl come out injured or Earl come out losing, of course, we're not waiting to hear nothing from him. He don't have the belts. Now, Ugas, and let me start with Ugas. This goes for you too. Realistically, what is the time frame to be throwing out, a term sheet for discussing negotiations with Terrence Crawford? For me, I can't say what Terrence has, but I don't know, a couple of weeks. Negotiations, y'all. That's all we saying, negotiations. Oh, well, Ugas came out and said he making a beeline, I'm paraphrasing, to Terrence Crawford. So this ain't hard, Ugas. You say anything else, your career is over. Your career is pretty much over. I think the boxing fans gonna turn on you big time. You know what I'm saying? And we have to factor in the fact that they don't, if based on the past, they don't respect you. Maybe they would if you have 3 belts. But look at what they try to do when you was the legitimate WBA champion. They all but less than a month threw you in there to fight Stanionis. Didn't even give you a chance to make break bread with other folks. Like you was a wet food stamp. And if it weren't for the graces of Earl Spence to desire to fight you, you would have been fighting Stanionis. So in a sense, we can say Earl saved you. He helped you get to where you wanted to be, which is to go for the gusto and not fiddle dado around. So you want to tell us, ending your fight with Earl, how you were so interested in a fight with Bud, that I got to say, that's bullshit a lot of. We're not going to trust that. We're not going to trust that. Because I think you work with the PBC as well. Sorry, we can't trust that. Y'all got to show actions this time. Let's talk more action. Number 2, who is sending the contract? Whoever the A side is needs to send the damn contract. Because everybody want to talk about A side and B side. Whoever the A side person is, you need to send the contract. Straight up. Like the button when you come in. Y'all know I'm speaking facts. You need to send the contract if you're the A side. Period. I want to hear no shit about somebody with 1 belt got to do all the heavy lifting. The person who's the A side need to send the contract. And for me, and I know I don't get to decide this, so I'm not having any delusion, of being grandiose or getting to decide. I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all want to use my ideas, go ahead. But if you got more hardware, you are the A side, period. So do A side shit and stop having one titty in your mouth and then trying to be like a grown up. Come on now. I'm having the breast milk on your breath. Like you still a baby. The A side, you the A side. Act like it. You ain't got to tell us your intricate details of what y'all talking about. Your business. Y'all are grown men. It is your business. We don't have to know that part. You just have to give us the date and the location of the fight. That's it. The daytime group, the location, the time, and who's gonna be putting it on the network. That's all you gotta give us as fans. We don't need to know nothing else. Get behind closed doors like gentlemen that y'all are and handle your business. There you go, General Big Fish. Bud don't want to accept the 60-40. See, and you ain't give me a chance to get to that. You gotta follow along, Big Fish. Don't make me call you Lance Corporal. Lance Corporal, Big Fish. Look, Big Fish, seriously, that's not our business. This is what makes it fucked up. This is why I started saying I'm gonna try to hold my tongue to anything that's going forward. No, I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you, Big Fish. I'll be seeing you over there with E Thriller and all that. I like you too, player. He said, my bad, laugh out loud. But I'm saying I'm gonna try to make the concerted effort from the day forward. Anything that we talked about before, y'all have at it. Still, we can talk about it, we can have fun with it. But going forward, I'm gonna be like, because I can tell that Errol and Bud have recently talked. I can't prove that, but that's what I believe. I think all three of them, Ugas, Earl, and Bud, are trying to make a concerted effort to get this done. I don't want to be the person that's making, pouring fuel on the fire. So that's why I'm just saying I'm gonna try to fall back just a little bit. And I say this to all three of them: don't test me. Stay away from the wine bottles, because I will bust you across your head if you get out of pocket. I am. You know what I'm saying? DJ in the building, salute King. We're gonna have to catch it next time, DJ, with the UFC, because I ain't gonna be on too much longer. But I'm talking about a concerted effort, DJ, that I'm gonna try to look at the guys as they're trying to capitulate or have a compromise, or cooler heads prevail. Because I can look at what the Bud interview and think he was being diplomatic. I can see that Earl and Ugas is trying to promote interest into their fight. They're trying to have cooler heads. But once we got all three of them on the same page, it's trying to have cooler heads, and all of them saying they want the same thing. Ugas basically all but told us, hey, I'm making a beeline for Bud when I win, because, the motherfucker think he gonna win. Shout out to Ugas. I don't know about that, but he thinks he will. So, maybe even if his agenda is to get us to try to buy the fight, hey, I'm not mad at that. I stand where I stand. I don't say nothing that I don't mean to say, and I don't regret nothing either. BBC fucked up to me in Tim Smith's interview, and until PBC makes it right, hey, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But Ugas, yeah, you doing what you're supposed to do. We got some fights this weekend in MMA, Miss T. I got you, King. Send me an email. Oh, if it's on Showtime, I'll get to see it. Miss T, I just got your notification an hour ago. Oh, okay, everybody that's coming in, I see that y'all be piling in late. I come on every day at 7:30. Every day at 7:30. And Miss T gets sick or anything like that, I'll put up on my thumbnail, no show today or something like that. But every day that I'm going to broadcast, Monday to Friday, is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm never going to change that. I'm never going to say I'm coming in at 8. I'm coming in at 8:30. No, it's 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. But let me get back to this concerted effort that I'm going to try to make. And everybody who came in, y'all should go back and watch the replay. That's why I don't want it to be long, because I talked about Casimero and his charges and investigation of what he's accused of They call it lasciviousness. I hope I say that right, aka pedophilia. So y'all go check that out in the beginning. So number one, realistic time on how long we should wait after the fight, regardless of who the winner is, before they start negotiating with Bud. What's the realistic time? Because we ain't waiting. I don't think I said we like I'm down with Bud. I feel like I am, but Bud ain't waiting. And nor should he. Because we're not gonna go through the tomfoolery. Because everybody gonna be trying to throw monkey wrench. And mark my words, I said this yesterday. Josh Taylor is gonna try to throw a monkey wrench in this shit. Because he will have some rights. He can go challenge whoever. And I don't know who they're gonna put weight on more, the unification, undisputed, or him able to go challenge for a belt. I don't know. He's gonna try to throw a monkey wrench in shit. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But Bud ain't gotta wait around to take this bullshit. So like I said, right now, Earl Smith is a ace high. If Ugas win, he's the ace high. Why? Simply because they got the most hardware. Why don't Miss T get into money? Because guess what? After this fight, which I do predict will not earn Errol Spence a lot of money, I do predict that they're not going to show the numbers right away, and they may even fudge the fucking numbers. You're not going to get a whole lot of numbers like you think, because nobody's going to buy that fight. You can thank the PBT for that, at least from where I'm sitting. I don't know about other people. And again, if you feel like you want to buy the fight, that's you. I will still break bread and steal my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't never tell nobody what to do. I tell you what I'm doing. And if I sound rational and logical, then jump on the train with me. You're more than welcome. DJ said Josh Taylor will have to fight Virgil Ortiz for an interim belt. DJ, is that for the interim? Because the way they make it sound like, see, they seem like they change the rules. It seems like if he's undisputed, because that's what Josh Taylor really is, he can go straight to any one of them with the belt. Anyone, Earl, he can go to Earl, Bud, or Ugas today if he wanted to. But I mean, they got their fight pending. But if they didn't, he can go to either one of them. But watch how he become a factor as we get close to what we want. So we're gonna send that contract. If you're the A side, man the fuck up and send the contract. In order for you to send the contract, you gotta put up some funds. Now, I said this yesterday too. Stop walking around with this narrative. We all need to stop talking like this or even thinking like this. Stop walking around thinking that ding 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 or I'm my own boss. Stop even putting that out. Floyd started that shit. What was for Floyd is for Floyd. Ain't none of y'all gonna catch what the fuck he did. I just don't believe it. But stop saying that shit, because some people can't distinguish reality from just talk. I mean, sure, you can say that. I can say, sure, I'm a homeowner, but I expect anybody out there who's had a home or is buying a home to understand I totally don't own my home. The bank that I pay that mortgage to really own that home. But the way we live in America, we can say I'm a homeowner. It carries a little clout. You know what I'm saying? But technically, you know what I'm saying? So all these people that got their own production company, a promotional company, I meant to say, if you ain't putting up the money, shut the fuck up. You ain't the boss of shit. How you gonna boss another man's money? That will always be the question for me. That is applicable whether you're a boxer, a garbage man, a ditch digger, it don't matter. If y'all don't believe me, let's test that theory out. Let me into your bank accounts and let me run how that money get disseminated and spent, and let me see what y'all have to say about that. Because that's what it's akin to. You cannot run another man's money. So you're not the boss. If they got to spend money on your behalf, not the boss. DJ said it depends on the situation because I believe Virgil Ortiz is already the WBO interim champ at 147, and his next fight is an eliminator versus McKenzie. That's true, DJ, but at the same time, from my understanding, if you were undisputed in the previous or the lower rank weight division, you can get cut a line. I mean, you get to cut the line. That was my understanding. All these exceptions is new to my ears. Shakur was the WBO champ, and he had to take a couple of fights before he got a title shot when he moved up from 126 to 130 because they made him. You see, Bud didn't. Pacquiao and Jeff Horn fought, but I'm sure there was a number one under them before Bud got there. Bud didn't have to. He went straight to Jeff Horn at the line. That's how I knew it. So I had to go back and read those, those rules and regulations just to be sure. Either way, Josh Taylor seemed to think he can make a beeline too. But no matter what Spence or Ugas agenda is for why they trying to talk nice right now, because that's what they doing. So is Bud. But no matter what either one of theirs agenda is, they're all on the same page, y'all. They're all on the same page as if they want to go to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to tell you, T to T is happy with shit like that. I'm happy. So I'm trying to put the onus on the fighter and not the promoters and not the sanctioning bodies and not the managers. I'm putting the onus on the fighter themselves. I'm being optimistic with them. I'm putting my faith with them. But it's still, in my Ronald Reagan voice, trust but verify. That means I'm still not buying y'all fight. I'm going to see what y'all gonna do. Because what you ain't going to do is trick me into buying your fight. And then you turn around and do shit I don't want you to do. Which I think you're going to do anyway. But all three of those guys, Buddhist, Spence, and Bud, are in a sense on the same page. And that's a lot. That's progress, y'all. That's progress. And as I said, anything that happened from yesterday and backwards is still fair game. We can get on here, chop it up, and laugh and have a good time at certain people's expense. But going forward, I'm going to hold my tongue. I'm going to hold my tongue and I'm going to see. I'm going to see what it do. No matter what, either one of them say it. But I said, don't push me, y'all. Don't. Ugas, Spence, and Bud, don't push me. Stay away from the wine bottles, for real. Don't, I'm going to really, really try to hold my tongue because I don't want to throw fuel on this fire. Y'all all came to a consensus. Shit, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I got to commend you, gentlemen, for that, at least. No matter how weird it looked. Earl said, I'm going to get this Ugas belt, and then I'm going after that other belt. And that's vague as a bitch. You don't have to be that vague. The other belt is none other than Terrence Crawford, WBO belt. You can say his name, but he said it vaguely. And I thought that was funny a little bit. But, that's the best he could do. Maybe he frustrated with everything that's going on. And I don't want to say that nigga name. I ain't mad at that. Terrence Crawford said, even though it, as DJ would say, probably tastes like vinegar coming out his mouth, Earl wants to fight. And we know what Terrence have said recently. And how, I don't think he did a 180. I think he's being a diplomat. I think he's practicing diplomacy. I gotta love him for that. And then Ugas, you know what to say now. Don't speak English, but you catch on pretty quick. But I think you do speak. I think you do. I mean, getting to this country represented a lot for you, and you have achieved a lot. More than most Americans born and raised here would ever achieve in their whole life. Your motherfucking ass speak English. But I understand you're comfortable with your own language. That's cool. But you knew what the fuck to say. I promise. I'm going for Terrence Crawford if I when I win. So you knew what to say. But here at Box Fans Talk TV, or Box Fans period, may I speak for you guys. Some boxers, some just straight boxer fans. Some are biased people and this, that, and another. Just a pure boxer fan. Can I get an amen, General Big Fish? We want to see the fight. We want the Super Bowl. Can I get an amen? And if that's what y'all talking about, this tea is all in. I'm going to put my faith in you guys, in you three gentlemen, to get the job done. And the only thing that we deserve or have a right to know is the date and location. When do the fans find out? That's the question y'all got to ask yourself. I'm talking about the three gentlemen. When do the fans get to find out? But we need to know the date and location. The purse split, it's y'all business. If you want a 90-10, that's your business. I don't want to know. Because that's adding fuel to the fire. Do us a favor. He was able to do it, Errol Spence, with you and Porter. He was able to do it with you and Mikey. He was able to do it with you and Danny. Do that shit with you and Bud. If it ever leaked, or swear all y'all friends, who gets to swear your friends to secrets. If it ever were to leak, when they put a microphone in your face, I have no comment. How easy is that? I just gave y'all the media spin. I have no comment. Well, you gonna take the 80 split? Because I heard Earl gave you the 80 split. No comment. I need Earl to say it too. I need Bud to say it too. I need Ugas to say it too. No motherfucking comment. Because boxing fans, I'm sorry, we don't deserve it. We don't deserve it because we'll take it and make hay out of it, and we don't need to do all that. We don't need to throw fuel on this fire. We need this shit to burn slow and steady. We need this shit to come to fruition. So I'm gonna try to do my part. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I might not be as patient as Bud. I expect y'all to go into negotiations pretty much after the fight. I'm not saying I expect the fight to be right after the fight. Like, their fight is April 16, I believe. I'm not expecting May 5th, June anything, July anything. Hell, August, September, October. I don't care. But I expect the term sheet to be sent. And I expect all three of y'all to understand, if you spending somebody else's money, you're not the boss. Stop saying that shit. You don't have to come in and say, I'm not the boss. Or play yourself down. But stop saying that shit that you are the boss, because you're not. How the hell are you the boss when you're spending another man's money? I be down. I mean, am I lying? Nobody can tell me I'm lying. Because I don't know anybody who lets some other man come in and run how they spend their money. Right? If they're not going to meet each other up, what happens next? If Bud says I'm going to 154, I know what time it is. I don't care what Earl Spence and all them people say. I don't give a shit. That's for me. And he's just going to go on by this business. Because he don't have to wait for you. You don't have to wait for y'all. They're already trying to angle Keith Thurman in Spence's way. They already trying to do, they try to throw Boost in. They try to throw, the only person that should be mentioned, I can't tell you what you got to do. As boxing fans go, be smart. Go for the bud fight. If you don't, it is what it is. Scared, probably. Maybe you're scared of the loss. I don't think you're scared of the man. I never thought that. But I think you're scared of the loss. And that can be two things right there, y'all. You can be scared of what you're gonna lose and not necessarily scared of the man. But you can be like Ryan Garcia, probably scared of the man and what you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? I don't think none of these three gentlemen are scared of each other. I really don't. So if Bud move up, he's gonna try to angle himself to face the winner of Castano and Charlo. If they drop the belt, they're done. That's how I'm gonna look at it. That's the best thing that T can promise y'all going forward. And like I said, my Black History, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna double up tomorrow, maybe double up Friday, make up for the time. I couldn't think of none today. I was out all day, had a lot of appointments, and then I got this new equipment, y'all. I know y'all can't see. I got this Rode um, microphone. You guys got to tell me how it sounds. Is it loud, precise, and clear? Does the sister drop dime on it? And my mixer is a drop dime on that too. Let me tell y'all something. Tell y'all something right now. I spent a lot of money. I, if you add up everything that I got to make this channel and all that, because I like things done precise and as perfect as it can be. Like I like my background, I like how it pops. I don't like anything from daisy or half-ass done. Like this little shit in the corner, it be bothering me. That's the best I can do. I got professional tripod, like demon over here, because that's the only way you're gonna get a decent green screen. My mixer, I tell you, I'm not even tell you how much it costs. This microphone is a couple of bills in my house, and I got a big old house. So that's how much I care about y'all to give y'all quality. You know what I'm saying? But it is a thing with me too. I like to deal with quality versus quantity. I like quality. But anywho, we're gonna make up for it, DJ, with the UFC. Um, Still, we ain't talking about the Bellator, but I got to go. Want to hang out? I'm gonna try to, sister girl. Oh, going back to my old days. I'm going back to my old days. Let me stop. Yeah, when you when you don't have to do the day to day being a mother, you will get your old young self back. I want that old thing back. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Anybody got anything? I did put the link in the chat. Anything to add? I hope you guys are with me on me trying to make a concerted effort since all three of them seem to be on the same page at the same time, to hold my tongue. As far as Casimero, if you're innocent, I hope everything works out for me. Remember, you guys, the only thing that's alleged is what the lady accused. As far as being under investigation and charged, that is not alleged. According to the article, he was charged and under investigation. But yet he was able to do a fight, and he was able to fly out the country, and he was able to be broadcasting and win a championship. And he was charged under investigation. And his reasoning for having a teenager in his room is it was raining too hard. He needed to say, wait till the rain let up, possibly the next day. What did he do? You're in your 30s, and that's the best you come up with. When they start making, when that start being their excuses, I already know. Can't get no grown ass man no pass. General Big Fish said, great show. Ate my sliders while I watched. I appreciate it, General Big Fish. You are a character. I love listening to you over there, Eat Thriller. You're a character. You be holding your own. That's all right. Hey, y'all, that's the biggest Spence fan right there. That's all right. That's all right. Love your boy. Love you, dude. And like I tell you, I know, I don't know if this is the first time you hear, I never hate Errol Spence. I just prefer Bud Crawford. And I'm going to call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call it like I said. For right now, don't adjust. You don't have to stay there, but where he at, player? We got some other Spence fans in here too. It's okay. We love Errol Spence. And the reason why I'm not buying this fight has nothing to do with him. Nothing at all. It has everything to do with the people he rode with. You're not gonna put out there that you have no intentions and never have to work with my boy Bud, and then I'm just gonna pony up to every fucking fight you put on. Hell, the knees off. That's how I miss T. ATL is in the building. He said, drop the link. Yes, hit the like button, y'all, before we close out. What's up, ATL? How you doing, boo? And like I said, I'm gonna make up for my Black History tomorrow. I just couldn't. I was gone all day, and I got home, and I just didn't have time to think of something, profound. Because I try to give y'all prominent people that we never hear about. You always hear about the Frederick Douglass, the Harry Tubmans of the world, and not to diminish them at all, because they were the creme de la creme. Obviously, yesterday I talked about Cicely Tyson. I wish I could go more in depth. Love Cicely Tyson. What a representation of Black women. Golly. Beautiful as all get out. Looking like that in her 90s. Come on now. The prototype of when they say Black don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't y'all agree? I just can't speak enough about that woman. This movie she did that will always be top dog in my head. Like, you just can't beat it. Jane Pittman, Bruce. I don't think a lot of people can compare with this woman. Anywho, I ain't gonna hold on to it long because, like I said, I'm going out. At least I think I am. So anyway, don't get off before it gets too late. Thank y'all for joining me, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And just keep that in mind, y'all. And y'all don't have to, if anything that I say sounds logical and rational, you're more than welcome to join the train. But anything that I'm doing, I'm not telling you have to. Because I will always tell you why I'm doing it and why it registered like whatever it registered in my head. Feel that I made a rational and logical decision. Want to join me? Please do. But until tomorrow, peace. Know better, you do better.